Hi everyone, it's Paul from FYRLYT. Today we're going to walk you through an overview of the menu system on the new FYRLYT FTO 640 scope. The FTO is powered up by holding down the blue button on the top of the eyepiece for about 5 seconds. The scope's going to boot up from the factory with full OSD display, so on-screen display, which shows angle of inclination, cant, compass and the reticle. You can turn the OSD off later if you like, and we'll go through that shortly. Firstly, you need to focus the ocular eyepiece by rotating the ring on the eyepiece to bring the writing in the display into focus. The focus will be unique for each individual user. Once the text at the bottom of the display is nice and crisp, we now want to focus the front lens so the image viewed is nice and sharp. The front lens is focused for each shooting distance. Now to access the menu, push the top turret down and hold for approximately 1 second and the main menu will appear. The main menu has 4 fields to choose from: image setting, zeroing, system settings and function menu. The icon at the 12 o'clock position is the icon that will be engaged when the top turret is pushed again, and the corresponding text will be displayed at the centre. We'll start with some basic image settings, so let's place the icon at 12 o'clock and push the top turret, and this will take you into the image setting sub-menu. It's got 5 options: contrast, brightness, red trigger display, restore to factory settings, and to recover a dead pixel. We'll start with brightness. We're set on the brightness setting now. We'll give it 1 quick push and you'll see the little wheel at the bottom, and we'll just dial the brightness right up and see the effect it has, and that's just the display brightness of the image. And we'll find something that's a little bit more appropriate for what we're doing, and we push that 1 more time. It'll take you back to the sub menu. Next we can twist around to contrast, press the top turret 1 more time and we'll see we've got the contrast turned right up. We can see as we scroll back the image tends to flatten out a little bit. We tend to run moderately high, at least 50% contrast up to 100%. That's about sort of 90s, 80s and 90s, looks pretty good. And we push it 1 more time and it will take us back to the sub menu. If we push it and hold it for 1 second, it will take us out of the menu system and we're back to the beginning as when the scope is turned on. Next we'll go in and explore some of the other menu options. Firstly, let's go into system settings. Oops, we'll try that again. And here we can set the language, the sleep time, the compass calibration. They'll be set calibrated from the factory. We can turn the speaker on to collect audio when we're doing video recording, to upgrade, do some formatting of the disk inside, overall system information. Now we'll go out of that menu and we'll go back in. And this time we will look at the functions menu. 1 quick push takes us into the function menu. This is where we can turn Wi-Fi on. It's currently on the Wi-Fi position. We give it 1 quick push and we can see the Wi-Fi is in app mode. We rotate the knob to change it, to turn it to off. We'll push it back on, go back out of that feature. We've got auto non-uniform correction. We'll just give that a quick push. We can see auto non-uniform correction is on. If we turn the dial, it will go to off. Turn it again, it goes back to on. We'll leave it on. The next feature is the enhance, which is really a digital detail enhancement. We'll give it 1 quick push. We'll see it's set to max at the moment. As we dial it back, it's approaching more of the raw data from the thermal imager. 0 now. We'll go all the way up to 15, it should sharpen the image up. There we go. Picture in picture, hit the button, rotate the knob, pictures at the top, pictures at the bottom, and back to off. Hotspot tracking. Here we can set hotspot tracking to on or off. Screen brightness. Now this is the LCD display at the ocular end of the scope. It's not actually the thermal image brightness per se, It's actually the brightness of the LCD display. We give it one push, we see we're running at about 60%, twist the knob to jump in increments of 20. 60 seems to work quite well for me. On-screen display. On the screen display is on, click to off. I'll hold the button down for a second and you'll notice that we've just got the simple reticle displayed now. We'll go back into the menu, go back into functions menu, and I think we've covered all the features there. Now let's take a look at the zeroing function of the FTO 640. A long press of the top turret will take us into the main menu. Rotate the top turret until the zeroing icon is at the 12 o'clock position and press again. The zeroing menu will now appear. The zeroing menu has a number of functions. Profile selection, there's 5 to choose from. Cursor, reticle type, there's 9 types in total. You can choose the colour, there's 4, red, white, yellow and green. You can freeze the frame, you can zoom, you have windage adjustment, elevation, a reset function to wipe out all settings, and return, which saves the settings and returns you to the main menu. You should boresight the rifle as you would any other scope. Now, we've got the bore already aligned with the centre of the target, but before boresighting, we have a few selections to make. And let's start by selecting the group. The FTO provides you with the option of 5 different profiles, so if you wish to set up a quick release scope mount, so you can switch rifles, or you have different points of impact when using a suppressor, or indeed different loads, you can set a profile for each. Now firstly, let's select the profile number. We'll rotate the dial and take us to the top. Select. The group selection field will be highlighted in red. We rotate the top dial, we can change group 1, 2, 3. We'll go to group 3. We'll press to select, go down to cursor type, press the top turret again. We can rotate through all our different cursor types. We have, choose something nice and simple, press again to select, go down to colour, just rotate through yellow, green, back to white. We'll stick with red. Now we can go down to the windage. Now we've got our profile selected, and now we're going to align the reticle with the centre of the target. We'll start with windage first. Just adjust until we get the windage to the centre of the target. The target's the black square in the centre. We're about centre there. The rifle's nice and stable, of course. Press to select. Rotate down to elevation. Press again, it will highlight in red. And then we'll adjust until we've got our elevation for our bore sight. Traditionally, your bore sight at fairly close ranges. This is only about 25 metres. Now we're going to go down to the return function, hit return, it's going to save our settings. Back to the main menu, one long push, and we're out of the menu system. Now we've got our rifle bore sighted. Now we're ready to shoot our first group. So what we'll do is we'll wander down to the target and we'll simulate our group. There are 2 options to sight in the FTO. You can either shoot and adjust for error in windage and elevation from within the zeroing menu, just like a traditional scope. Each click value is 2.2 MLA, and you can simply correct for the error as measured on the target. Or you can freeze the frame in the aiming menu and adjust the reticle to the centre of your group. Now let's have a look at the freeze function. Firstly, we want to make sure the rifle is well supported and stable. Then we want to align the reticle to the point of aim. We'll do that firstly. Now we'll go back into the zeroing menu. And when the reticle is aligned with the centre of our aiming point, which was right there, oops, try that again, right there, we will rotate the dial until we get to the freeze frame setting. We'll press it, it'll highlight. We'll then go to the on position and press it one more time. It'll now freeze the sight picture, so you could actually move the rifle, and we're moving the rifle now, and the reticle doesn't move relative to the target. So what we can do is then go down and adjust by selecting windage without worrying about moving the rifle, and we can dial across. Now windage seems to be pretty good. We can dial across. We can see right now the reticle's right on top of our point of impact. Now we've simulated a 3 or 4 shot group. You're best doing it with at least a 3 shot group to make sure that we're at the center of the average. Now once we've got it on top of that, we choose select, and we can rotate down to return and save the settings. Push the hold down to go out of the menu, and our rifle is now zeroed to that group.